we have all these things that we're very committed to, and they're all long-term goals, which I think is going to build a much stronger company overall than trying to sell ourselves out for a quick buck. Hello, and welcome to Burning Boat Business, the podcast where we discuss the success, failure, and progress of our company, Burning Boat, as well as ourselves. We're back. Episode 11. I'm feeling much better. More energy. I feel like I'm myself again. How are you feeling?
Feel fine.
You feel fine?
Yep.
All right.
Still feel fine.
Still feel fine. I want to get started today. I've got a little list on my phone here of things. So First of all, I mean, we kind of, for a while, we're doing the podcast without any plan. And I think we decided that it's a little bit better to have, just a couple notes jotted down, just a couple conversation topics, right?
Yep, agreed.
Can you look at me in the eyes?
Sorry, I just want to make sure that sounds right.
Okay. Is it good?
Yeah, now it's good.
Okay.
Can you look at me in the
Like
eyes?
talking to okay. Let's see here.
I actually prefer to look at your microphone when I talk.
Really?
It's a little actually
to me.
kind of like this. Is that right?
Is it good?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's start with the 120 challenge. For those of you who don't know, that is the 120 challenge is a new kind of mini series we've started on YouTube, which is essentially a video editing challenge that takes an hour and 20 minutes. And I guess as the name suggests, you have an hour and 20 minutes to kind of edit something, and it could be anything. Or sound design something, or I guess anything to do with post-production kind of.
One of us sets the other a challenge.
Right.
When there's certain, rules that we have to follow. So if I'm setting you a challenge, there's restrictions on my end.
Right.
But I can kind of challenge you to do pretty much anything within that hour and 20 minutes.
Exactly. So we just did one.
Yeah.
Today.
Mm-hmm.
That was your first one.
Yeah.
And now that we've both done one,
yeah,
I'm just wondering if we should have a quick
yeah.
brainstorm and kind of see what's working and what's not working.
Okay.
Because one thing I've noticed is that maybe an hour is just a little bit too short. I think, both of us kind of took an extra 20 minutes after the hour just to kind of clean things up. And I think that extra 20 minutes is actually huge.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, I think 80 minutes to edit something that's, 10 minutes in its raw form kind of feels like the sweet spot to me. But then I was also thinking, that's a luxury, right?
Mm-hmm.
To get the 80 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we make a bit of a game out of it, where, you get your challenge and then you roll a dice or something like that then gives you, either an hour, either 90 minutes or 30 minutes. And let's say you get 30 minutes.
You got to do something.
You have to
totally
change your mindset on like how you approach
That's good.
that project.
I like that.
You like that?
Uh-huh.
And then I think in the future, we don't have to come up with it now, but even putting certain restrictions, I think would be interesting as well. So if I know how you like to edit, I could throw a wrench in that kind of by saying, you know what, you can't use this sort of thing. You can't use any deep warbles.
I think that's what we were saying originally.
Right.
Was that it's roughly 10 shots, no more than 10 minutes total length. Mm-hmm. But then, for every episode, you could throw in a new thing, a new element.
Right, exactly.
Like you can't use any sound effects from this folder.
Yeah, exactly.
On our computer.
Exactly.
Or something. Or you can only use sound effects from this folder.
Yeah, I think there's a bunch of stuff you could do.
But yeah, the one you just did, or the challenge you just sent me was editing shots of you packing.
Right.
Because you're moving this week.
Right.
And you have like 3 suitcases of stuff.
And I figured, well, how can I kill 2 birds with one stone?
Yeah. Well,
I'm going to fucking pack, and then I'll just film myself doing it. And
smart.
Ba-bing.
Yeah. So
although I ended up with, I think, a messier situation than I had before, because I kept on moving stuff around to get the shots. And then I packed it in such a fucking weird way, because I couldn't do the flat lay because I didn't have a tripod.
Yeah.
Which basically means I couldn't shoot top down to fill my suitcase. So I put my suitcase on the side and started stacking things inside of it. And then to get that last shot of all the 3 suitcases standing, right? Mm-hmm. I did that with 2 of the suitcases. You didn't see the other shot. Then I zipped them all up, put them upright. Like everything fell out. I mean, not out of the suitcase, but got all jumbled. And then, so basically I'm back at step 1. I wasn't really killing 2 birds with one stone, but I got the shots.
So you were trying.
Huh?
At least you were trying.
Yeah, and everything's kind of organized. I mean, I kind of had to go through everything to do the video, so.
I mean, 3 suitcases isn't much either.
No.
You'll be fine.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I think the time is a little bit short.
Because right now, I think we keep thinking, oh, we can get a full thought done.
Yeah.
Right? In 1 hour. And the thing is, you should only be thinking that if you know you have enough time. So the thing is, if you roll the dice, you get 90 minutes, great. I have time to kind of put this full thing together. I know I have extra time. If you get 30 minutes, like, I don't even know.
Yeah, what would I have done with today's video if I had 30 minutes? I think I would have probably focused on just like one segment.
Yeah, exactly. Just like an intro or something.
Or just like the tapes when you're taking away the tapes.
Right.
And each one would have had a sound.
Right.
And that would have been I would have done that very well. And I would think I would have had enough time to do that. But I wouldn't have been able to do anything but that.
No, I think I like that idea.
So 30 minutes, 60 minutes, or 90 minutes.
And pressure kind of comes on. You want to do 2 hours?
No, because the whole point
is to do something
quick.
Yeah.
So let's say 90 minutes is the max.
90 minutes, and unless the challenge kind of pushes in a certain direction. So if you say, oh, you have to sound design this scene, maybe the other person could say, and this is just a 30-minute challenge. Or is it always up to? Because maybe you just want to give someone a short task.
No, I think that's funny though. If you've set me something that you think is only a 30-minute task,
and
then
you
I
get
pull
90,
the 90,
nice.
and I can just make it
that's
even
cool.
more.
All right.
And I have to think, well, I have to spend this time, so what could I really do? And you get really specific.
Yeah.
And have that luxury.
Okay, I like that.
Okay.
Or, I mean, here's the other question. Or is the thing that it's always going to be pressure when the timer is counting down. And the reason we're able to kind of fix the videos in a quick 15 minutes, 20 minutes after shooting is because we don't have the pressure on us anymore. And there's a little bit looser of a...
I think it's just that you're trying so hard to finish it within an hour that you get so close and you just kind of throw stuff in there.
Yeah.
But it's the chances of having hit it exactly right without watching it back,
without
just testing
stuff fast.
You just need that last bit of time. So I think that's having the discipline.
Yeah.
To edit for an hour and then 30 minutes to clean it up.
Rather
than, do the same exact thing. And at 90 minutes be like, oh, but it's not done.
Yeah.
And that's up to you. I mean, that's your loss.
Yeah.
I think we should, moving forward, now that we've done the first 2, we wanted to kind of show that we can actually do something. We don't want it to be a shitty edit. So we did, just do those extra 20 minutes to just clean it up and make sure it was okay.
Yeah.
No more.
Yeah.
60 minutes, that's it. It's about...
Cut it off.
It's about showing... It's about the challenge.
Yeah, and I think we do want to have some where we just fail.
Yeah. Because that's part of it. And
right.
I mean, the one I just did, there's definitely parts where I'm like, that doesn't work. It's not
but
horrible.
It's good to accept it, though. Yeah, but I think...
Yeah, and it's a good little skill to build, both to be able to edit quickly, but also just, it's not the end of the world.
You know what? That didn't work. I spent an hour on that. That didn't work.
Moving on.
Shit.
Or, change it.
Yeah.
At another point.
Exactly.
But We just upload it. Instead.
Okay, cool. Well, I'm looking forward to that. I think next week we're actually doing the tutorial for the smoke.
I can't remember.
If I remember correctly, yeah. So in 2 weeks.
Cool.
I'm going to be fucking ready. Okay, that's the first thing. The second thing is kind of, let's give an update on the how the networking has been going.
Okay, yeah. So this week's major YouTube episode was about trying to spend time reaching out to companies that we want to work with, because it's hard to find time to do that as well as make videos. So we thought, why not make a video about doing that, which was a challenge in itself.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as of yet, it hasn't gone great because we haven't really heard back from anyone.
Nope.
Oh, we've heard back.
We've heard back
but
from a couple.
It's been not positive, but not negative.
Yeah.
It's been like, oh, that sounds really cool. Your videos look great. We just don't have the budget right now.
That's the theme that's going on right now.
We've gotten like 2 or 3 like that, and then I've gotten like 2 that are just, no thanks.
Right.
But because one of them was, we're like government funded and we don't do any marketing.
Right,
so
right.
That's fair.
So do we just keep
Yeah.
doing it?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was going to say. I think just in our off time, just keep sending emails. Just constantly.
And I also think that a big part of it has to do with the fact that it's summer right now.
Yeah.
And people actually are on vacation. This is like the time that people in Denmark are on holiday. So it's like we did it at the worst time we could because no one is seeing these emails.
I guess, yeah. Huh?
I mean, it is.
Yeah.
It's like right now, these couple of weeks is when most businesses and stuff, they
Is
just
it?
take
It
a little
takes
bit
fucking, it's August.
Yeah, I think
I'm
Denmark does it a
disconnected
little
from
bit
the-
later than other. It's like each country kind of has its own little window.
Do they?
Yeah.
That's true. That is true. I remember in Germany, it'd always be like 1 week where everyone goes to Mallorca or something, and that's when all the tickets get sold.
Yeah.
It's like every German is going to Mallorca.
Exactly. So
Okay.
I think one thing to just, let's, follow up on everyone we've just sent in a week or 2 when everyone is hopefully back.
Yeah.
As well as continuing to do it. And we do have like 4 solid leads.
Yeah, no, I think we're definitely in the right. I just wanted to make sure that I think it just
Paid
needs
ones.
to be
I'm
in.
not even thinking of the music video one.
Yeah.
4 solid paid leads.
What are those?
We've got the hot air balloon.
Yeah.
We've got Souls.
Yeah.
Who's a vegan cafe that we're meeting with tomorrow. Who reached out to us themselves like a month after we had a little bit of an email exchange saying,
Right.
Maybe something in the future, but not right now. They reached out to us on their own.
Right. And we got to suss out whether it's going to be a free video or not.
Yeah. We'll talk about that after.
Yeah.
And then the knowledge talk.
Yeah.
And then Vocast, because they were very much saying, let's meet in autumn.
Okay.
And from what Phoebe told me, it sounds very promising the way they were talking about us, and like we'll make something work. Cause
Have they seen our stuff?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to reiterate, I think we just need to we got to make that part of our habit where whenever, even when I'm on the bus now, I'll see a company. I just saw like Carhartt, and I was like, I'm just going to write them an email. Right? Just constantly be writing whoever comes up, who aligns with us. And
That's why I liked what we did, though, of like 2 days of that's all we do, because it kind of just sets you up mentally to be able to do that.
Yeah, exactly. I feel more comfortable
afterwards.
to do it now.
But I also do find it difficult to not necessarily to remember to do that, but it's like I do like grouping tasks.
I agree.
Kind of like I'd rather sit down and send more than one than like, oh, I'll quickly do that. I mean, I can.
No, I think it's more like keeping a folder on your phone or something, and just now that you're thinking about it, kind kind of when you do see something, just put it in the folder. Once you have 10, be like, okay, I'm just going to sit down for an hour and send out these 10 emails. Something more like that. Which is the same with everything. I think I've been starting to do with the fear setting as well, where now that's just in my head. Whenever I think of something, I'll kind of just jot it down in one of my notebooks, and then it's just easier, as opposed to like when the day comes being like, okay, what am I going to do?
Yeah, because then they're just not as interesting.
Yeah. It's that fallacy where you always think like, I'll remember that. Oh, that's a good one. I'll definitely remember that.
Yeah.
And then like when the time comes, you're like, what the fuck was that again? Okay, so I guess just keep hustling, keep that hustle going, and
let's really make the ones that we already have going go.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see what they have to say.
Yeah,
excited to hear back from them, and I'm just excited for us to get our first job.
Let's talk about Souls right now.
Sure.
So the original email I sent out to them a little over a month ago was when we were still doing stuff for free. I think I mentioned free at least twice in the email.
Right.
They said, your stuff looks cool, but we don't need anything right now. We just kind of came out of making a video with someone else. Maybe let's do something later in the summer. And then they reached back, just the other day by themselves and said, let's meet. So we're meeting with them tomorrow. And I don't know if they're expecting us to be doing it for free.
Yeah. Because, I mean, for those that don't know, we kind of had this promotion for the first month we were working, where we basically just contacted people and said, hey, we'll make a video for you for free, like right now. And that's sort of that's the pool they originally belonged to, but now obviously we're moving on to paid work.
Yeah.
So it's going to be...
So I think that's what we kind of go in with.
Yeah.
Is I think just starting off, I don't know, not like the first thing, but at some point in the meeting, just kind of like making it clear that was where we were. Now we're kind of in this different place, but we're still very interested to hear what it is you're looking for. Because
it should go pretty quick. There's not that much to talk about. I mean, it's like, what do you guys want, right? What are they looking for? So obviously they have a video on their website, so I'd be interested just to know.
I think what would be really cool is if we went in with ideas so that it was really like just the fact that they're interested, we could make them even more interested by suggesting something they maybe hadn't even thought of.
Like what?
I don't know. I haven't thought of it myself, but maybe something like they have a video on their website, but it's just a visual thing. It doesn't tell you anything. Like their whole slogan, it says it underneath their sign, like their main name is "Eat Like You Give a Fork," and it's a vegan place. They do, I think, vegan vegetarian, but mostly vegan.
Okay.
So they obviously stand for something,
right?
Which is what drew me to them originally, and why I wanted to email them. Maybe like talking about if they'd be interested in doing something, like talking a little bit about what their mission is or what their vision for the future is, and having something maybe a little bit more, something that wouldn't be front and center on their website, but like maybe something that they would promote or something they could show that would, give them...
You're saying like something with a little bit of an opinion?
Yeah. Which I don't know at all if they want to do. There could be, that they're doing quite well.
Yeah.
They've just opened a new restaurant.
Yeah.
That they don't want to scare anyone away. They don't want to push anyone's buttons. They want to just kind of like go with the flow and kind of be this trendy, healthy place rather than a vegan place.
Right.
But it just kind of is, it's interesting that their slogan is "Eat Like You Give a Fork," which is, getting at the whole compassionate environmental thing. I think it'd be worth mentioning and talking about, because that's what excites me about working with that. It's not that it's a cafe. It's like, for me, being vegan is a huge thing, and I want to be involved. Like, that's one of the 5 things I really want to do. Right. In general.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'd love to do something like that. or just, make them really cool stuff showing like how to make their fancy cocktail. It's like an Instagram story. I don't really care. I would like to be doing more with that. It's an interesting opportunity.
Okay. So are you saying even if, let's say I'm the person, right? Oh, hi, nice to meet you. We can't pay you guys anything. I know we just opened up a second restaurant, but money's tight.
Then it would depend on what it is.
Right.
And if we could see it potentially going somewhere else.
So, yeah.
I think we have to be clear that I think we do have some, clear standards between the two of us of if it's something we're going to do for free, there has to be a different kind of outcome for us, whether it be something we're proud of and would show on our website,
something that adds to
that could lead to something else,
something that's different from the cafe
that we've already done.
Right.
Yeah.
If it's the same, there's no point.
But then there is this added thing of what I was just saying, that just because it is vegan and that they are doing really well,
yeah,
that in itself could lead to something that I'd be excited about in the future.
Yeah.
So that does add something.
I guess we'll feel it out tomorrow.
Yeah, I think we'll just have to really feel it out.
Yeah.
And it's just hard to like talk numbers when you don't even know what it is they're looking for. We have no idea what they're thinking.
But they gave us a meeting, which must mean something.
Yeah. Like why?
Did you send them any of our videos, or are they just...
Well, when they then said, let's meet, I was like, they probably still think we're doing stuff for free.
Right.
Let me already start that process of letting them know that it's not for free by sending them our new website and a video we've just done.
So fucking satisfying.
I didn't say anything about we don't do it for free anymore, but it just, let them know like this is a legitimate business.
Right.
It's just easier to transition into. Look, we're doing well and we don't need...
I think that's perfect.
Free work right now. We're very interested in working with you because we...
And if anything, it's just another good way to practice. I mean, meeting somebody we don't know in person, kind of exercising that muscle as well, right?
That's good. And they are huge. Like if you Google vegan Copenhagen,
if they
it's
were
the first one every time. If you Google healthy eating Copenhagen, it's the first one.
Really?
And like a lot of people I've just within like my little family know of this place, and they're not vegan.
That's cool.
It's the location. We just biked by it yesterday. Their new location is front and center, like in this big square. I think it would be some valuable exposure. It's definitely like the most exposure we would get out of who we've worked with so far. Okay. That doesn't say much because we're only worked with 4 people.
Yeah.
2 of which are like private, like individuals. But yeah, it's exciting. Let's see what happens. Yeah.
We'll keep the people updated. Okay, I think that's it on networking. Got 2 more things here. Let's start with me moving this week, which is very exciting for me because I'm now going to be only an 8-minute bike ride away.
You need to get a bike, man.
I'm going to get a bike.
I need to get another bike.
Let's go bike shopping.
We'll have to see. I might be able to I honestly can't remember if my dad has an old bike that I might be
chained up somewhere in Copenhagen.
Not in Copenhagen,
from 20 years
but
ago.
Like they are moving.
We'll go to Vesterport, turn
Maybe
right,
they could,
third bike on the left. That's mine. How'd your brother get his bike?
He just bought it very cheaply from one of my grandma's good friends.
Okay. Yeah, I just saw one on Facebook. It was like 800 kroner for a pretty good bike. Might hit that up, but I'm debating. Do you go comfort, which is kind of an upright sitting bike with a basket in the front, or do you go kind of, what would you say? I guess a little bit more utility or power with the mountain bike. I like the idea of having a basket. I really do.
The basket.
But it really
Get a basket.
It's not very cool.
But maybe you could make it cool.
I guess.
I mean,
I would go. It feels less safe to be driving like this.
Oh.
Because when you're in the mountain bike, you're kind of like this. You kind of got that, like, you can jump up on the shit. You can kind of turn quickly. This shit is like...
Well, are you the kind of guy who would jump around on shit and turn quickly?
100%.
Or would you just be like, upright and strolling with a basket?
It depends on the day.
Well, what would you do more often?
I don't know. And another big concern is this winter, right? Mm-hmm. Going through the snow.
Well, then you'd need...
what?
I think a mountain bike would be better for that.
For the snow?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See,
and when I say mountain bike, it's just the shape of the bike. I don't need 27 gears to get me over around Copenhagen. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I need like 5.
The reason why I'm in the market for another bike is for Ironman training.
Oh,
so that's
you don't want to train with a Christiania bike?
No. Well, that's what I'm going to start off with. But it's like
you just put weights in there.
I don't need weights though. I need the distance. I need the 180 kilometers.
That's a lot.
It's a bit much biking around with that big thing.
When you train, are you gonna ride around Copenhagen, or are you gonna get one of those like bike treadmill things?
I think I'm gonna go all outdoors.
Yeah, but there's those like rollers.
Yeah. It's just another thing I need to get then.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Still need a bike.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, I'd love to get like an indoor.
Well, I just don't know in Copenhagen if you could train pool. Going 30 kilometers per hour everywhere.
I'd just go out of the city and just go along the coast.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. How's that going? So you did first training yesterday?
First training yesterday. I mean, I'm in pretty good shape to start out with.
Okay, braggy boy.
That's not what I meant. I just meant I'm not starting from zero. It's not like my first run ever.
Yeah, it's not your first
But it was
rodeo.
my first Phoebe needs to take out the bread from the oven, so we'll be back in a second.
All right.
That was another idea I had while I was watching the stuff. I was like, I'm going to do some of my own sound effects, because I was like...
The bread is not good, or his sound effects aren't good?
This is Arctic wind.
Arctic wind? Not like your standard wind.
This is a water sprinkler. That's about it.
A pigeon. That's good.
That's good.
What else?
Horse. Oh God. That'll be the next challenge. That's a good one.
Okay.
Water drop?
You have 2 hours.
So yeah, what I meant was I'm not starting from zero.
Yeah.
I do have a certain level of conditioning, but I did my first like Iron Man-esque training yesterday where I biked, swam, and ran all in the same day. I did like a 400, 500 meter swim. I need to check that because I think I know my distance, just, like eyeballing it, but like it could be that was...
You should get a Fitbit.
Way less. Or slightly more.
You should get a Fitbit.
What's that?
It's like a exercise tracking wrist band.
Maybe.
I've been hearing about those a lot in like murder cases, that somebody was like wearing a Fitbit, so they got either convicted or not convicted, because I guess it tracks where you are.
Oh.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Weird.
Okay.
Okay. Smoking, not smoking is also going good. Fucking easy.
Is it?
Yeah. I think once I get in my head and it's like, I'm just not going to do that. It's really not too difficult. Okay, here we go. Last thing. Can we start to set a date for like, when can we climb our first mountain?
Rock climb or climb our first mountain?
So yeah, what do we want to do?
So yeah,
What
I'm
can we kind of set a date for?
little overwhelmed by the amount of physical activity I need to schedule in.
Yeah.
Because so the Ironman is 3 sports.
Yeah.
Running, biking, swimming.
Yeah.
We are super into rock climbing, and
Yeah.
then there's mountaineering, which is a whole 5th thing.
Okay.
It's really like 5 things all in one. They are related, kind of in the same area.
Yeah.
It's not like there's tennis or anything, but
That sounds fun though.
I think something like setting mountaineering goals is a really good idea. Like, when are we going to go on our first trip? Which mountains are we going to climb? And while we're doing that, where's the rock climbing in that area? So we can do that as well.
Yeah, I think start looking into both simultaneously is a good idea.
So I had this crazy thought yesterday. I guess that crazy thought. I don't know. It's just something I hadn't thought of before. I don't know how crazy it is.
Yeah.
But I have my feature-length film.
Yeah.
And it's this huge project that just keeps growing. It just keeps getting bigger, more abstract, and it just is getting also more expensive.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how am I gonna do that? How am I gonna make that? How am I gonna get the budget for it? How am I gonna, there's a lot of things where it's like, I don't know how I'm gonna do it. I'm not saying that I can't do it.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I'm really trying to think of like, what is the best way to actually get to making that film? Because that for me is like a very like big goal, like an ultimate kind of end goal,
Right.
if you can call it that. And I was like, what if we made like a documentary, or maybe even 2 documentaries before that as well? We have your film.
Yeah.
Totally different though. It has nothing to do with what my film is about, or at least the way it would be made.
What, these documentaries you're talking about?
No, your Boris and Johan.
Oh, yeah,
it's
yeah.
just like its own thing.
Yeah, totally.
What if like we took, I'm super inspired by Jimmy Chin and the fact that film just came out, and it's just like having the discipline to document that whole process from day one, when it was like an idea, to actually doing this feat of like climbing that no one's ever seen before. It's like, that's amazing. If we did something similar with like a mountain or a rock climbing route.
Yeah.
And it was, even if it's like a 40-minute documentary, but something where it's like, we've already made something that could like, we're doing that anyways, right? So why not also focus on making something that is its own thing and not just YouTube videos along the way? So you could do something like setting a goal of climbing this mountain on this date, going from no climbing experience to having done that.
Right.
And then I could also do going from no experience to running an Ironman and filming it along. Like yesterday, when I went up for that first workout, I brought my phone with me and just like filmed myself right before and right after I went in the water. It's like, having that, in a year is so valuable.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just something that I constantly think about. It's like, how am I going to make this film? What's the right way to go? Could I actually, is it realistic to expect anyone to want to fund even the best of ideas without having actually produced anything prior to that in the same kind of category?
I don't know.
That's a huge thing. I know.
It's a big question.
I don't know. Sometimes I just feel like I'm scrambling for what to do next in that.
With your film specifically.
it just feels like there's such a huge leap to get to finishing it. It doesn't feel like there's a gradual uphill. It just feels like there's kind of a little bit of a hilly area that leads to like
it's basically a
sheer,
massive jump. Yeah, exactly.
Cliff that you have to just get up. And I'm like,
maybe that's, maybe that film is your inception in a way, where it takes you. Is that what you're saying? That this feels like a longer term thing for you, and you could be working on stuff in between?
Yeah.
I get that, because I think I had it in my head too for a little while with Boris and Johan. Like the first draft I wrote or something way back in college was like insane. And I was writing it and I was like, I'm never going to be able to, like, not that I wouldn't be able to fund it, but I wouldn't be able to pay for it myself, basically. Like, this is out of the scope of something I could.
Yeah. It's what I'm feeling a little bit.
Right. But
I'm just like, even if I have the most elaborate, if everything's perfect in this proposal, the script is amazing.
Right.
All the locations have already been thought out and planned for, and I've got.
But here's the thing. You can still film parts of it. I mean, parts of it.
It's starting to get to a point where it's like, not really.
But those are choices you're making.
Right.
By saying, I want to shoot it on this kind of a camera. With
right, but I'm making those choices based on the story, not because I want to film it on this camera. I don't even know what camera I want to film it on.
Well, I agree, but let's just say
it's things like
the PCT.
I wasn't even thinking of that.
But that's something that you could film, get done.
True.
And that's something that could be done in the next year.
Yeah. That's I'm on the same page with that.
Right.
It's the film as a whole.
Right.
Even having filmed the PCT and having like that filmed, it does not make the rest of the film. It just has nothing. It's so far removed from what the rest of the film would be like.
But it's not, because you could.
But you haven't even read the most recent thing that I wrote. It is like a full production almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the budget, I mean, what you're saying is, let's say now maybe is closer to $500,000 or something.
I don't even know.
Yeah.
I mean, that was what it was.
But that's not crazy.
No, but
that's not you being like, I need $200 million to make a blockbuster.
No, it's not that much. It's not that much. But even just like $500,000, which it has been for a while.
Yeah.
It's like, how would you get that? I mean, I know you pitch it.
Yeah.
But still, I feel like there's something missing.
So you think there might be a better chance of making a name for yourself by doing some other things?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know either.
It's like early. I don't know. I've constantly come back to this thought of like, how am I going to do that?
Right.
Like even if I had the money,
then what?
How would I do it? How would I?
You'd figure it out.
I know I would.
It's super overwhelming. I totally understand that. Like, if you look at the film as a whole, yeah, it seems totally. I couldn't sleep the first couple days. I knew I was going to be working only on Boris and Johan because it was so overwhelming, the entire thing.
Yeah.
Like, how the fuck am I going to start? Like, where do you even start? What do you start with? Blah, blah, blah. But then slowly, I mean, things start to pick up.
I also don't want to talk about the details of the film on the podcast because that's all. I want no one to know anything about it.
Okay.
And then for it to come out. But it's a little hard for me to explain what's like specifically like difficult.
Yeah.
But it just doesn't sound like a bad idea to try and like work on similar kind of content, but on a different scale that could be really realistically, without any money, worked on right now, to have and to kind of show what it is I'm getting at a little bit.
Okay.
I don't know.
That makes sense.
It's just something that really, there's not a lot of things in my life that really get me anxious or get me to feel overwhelmed or really like stressed out. Like I can physically feel it. Is this film? But I feel like it's also like the fact that I have these loans to pay back.
Right.
I have like these deadlines to hit, you know, or like time's like running out.
But what, your own time? Oh, for the loan, sorry.
Yeah, so I've said to these people, this is kind of the situation we're in. Me and Taylor are starting a company. It's taking a little longer than we thought. We're going to need, you know, another 8 months to a year before I can pay you back. And it's like, now that is starting to look very, again, like now that's starting to look difficult.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, what is the priority? Is the priority paying these people back, or is the priority making the best film I can? But it's like, I still need to pay these people back.
Worst case scenario, how would you even pay them back? Outside of us making money and being able to pay. I mean, would the equipment even add up to?
No. And then we'd have it would like completely
Would be fucked.
Yeah, that would ruin everything.
Yeah.
The thing is that these people are people I know. And who would and have been willing to help out, and they're interested in the project, not in the money.
Right.
But obviously it's still important, and you know that's an aspect of it, but I get the feeling that these people want to see this project succeed, and that's why they've put money into it, and that's why they've been willing to postpone it, and that's why they're, you know, they're never mentioning that aspect of it. They just want to know how it's going.
And that obviously puts pressure, right? Then maybe that is the right idea then, is to... I don't fucking know, dude. I was about to say, like, yeah, something like climbing a mountain, making a documentary out of it, something that's a little bit of a quicker turnaround to a product. But then I also could see that very easily falling into the same problems you have now, where it's, yeah, you shot the 5 days, and now you want to add to that, obviously, and make it the best that it can be, which I would see very quickly with the mountain as well, where we're like, wow, let's fucking hold on to that footage so that we have it for this bigger documentary where we can show.
That's why the final thing would have to be big enough that it was like, that's actually, wow.
Yeah.
So I feel like that is like...
And that's a long-term goal. I haven't climbed anything yet. I mean...
That's why I want to like...
And I think we can push hard, but it's also something you can't necessarily rush.
No.
Right?
You can't rush
the
it.
Experience to...
you can't rush it, but you can definitely push.
Yeah, you can push.
What about something like a documentary where... I don't want to say that like you're the rock climber and I'm the mountaineer, but that is kind of a little bit where I feel like I came from wanting to do mountaineering, and you came maybe a little bit more from wanting to do rock climbing.
Yeah.
Now I'm super into rock climbing, and you want to like go climb mountains as well. Something like one of my goals is climbing this mountain, and one of your goals is getting to a certain difficulty of like lead climbing.
Right.
And like setting a very specific goal, and I help you achieve that and you help me achieve mine.
Right.
And in doing so, we end up doing both.
Right.
And something like that.
I think that would be cool. But again, I see it as like 2 years from now. I mean, my goal is like big wall climbing. I don't know how quick you can get on those walls.
That's what I'm getting at. It's like...
Starting now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but again, it's not something... we're not going to have a documentary in 8 months.
I'm not talking about 8 months.
Oh, okay. I thought the whole point was to be able to do something before.
I'm just not seeing this film that I want to make being able to be done then.
What's then?
In a year.
Yeah, no way. Not no way.
No,
But
okay,
it would take
100% no way for being done, but for starting.
I mean, someone could hear this and be like an angel investor and give you the 500,000. Let's say that happens.
Mm-hmm.
You think you'd be able to film everything in a year?
No, but if I got that investment, then I could pay the loans back.
Yeah.
And that would be it.
So you're very much concerned with the loans at the moment, which makes sense.
Yeah.
And the loans, I feel, slowly are becoming a burden on me too.
Mm-hmm.
I am aware that I'm using the equipment and I can't just say, oh, great, Mads took all the risk and I get to reap the rewards from it. I think there is some weight falling on my shoulders as well.
Mm.
But there's just, I mean, what we're trying to say is like, oh, what's a short-term solution to make a lot of money? Which is just a ridiculous, I think it's actually against our philosophy as a company is to try to get rich quick. We have all these things that we're very committed to and they're all long-term goals, which I think is going to build a much stronger company overall than trying to sell ourselves out for a quick buck.
Yeah, and I think when you're talking about risk and reward, the thing that I did was I took risk in like a very good way with people who are interested in seeing the film being made, interested in me succeeding, not interested in making money.
Yeah.
And so I feel like coming to them and explaining the situation and talking through it would make them want to be part of the next part then. Right. If this is what we're doing, that's what we're doing. We trust, what you're doing. I feel quite confident in that.
Yeah.
It's also just like, it's hard. I have never done anything like this before. So it's hard for me, when I'm crowdfunding to know how long it's going to take for the film to be done. Then once I think, I have this new idea, it's then also very hard and abstract for me to know, well, how long will it take to then execute this new idea? Like I'm learning as I'm going along, but that unfortunately is coming with the it could look like I'm just postponing it for no reason, or that I'm just not working on it. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like I say, oh, the film will be done by 2018. Actually, it's going to take a lot longer than I thought. We're going to need another 8 months to a year. No problem. We're on your side. And then now, if I'm like, actually, 8 months to a year is looking like too short. Actually, I need 5 years. It's like, okay, what are you going to say in 5 years? It's like, in the end, I care more about the film, the idea, and the meaning behind it than I care about, this money. You get what I mean?
I get, but the money obviously is what...
Right.
They're tied together, I think. I don't know what I think the fact that we've just started the company was probably a little bit brash to think that we would be making, on both of our parts, to think that we would be making any significant amount of money within the first year. I mean, these loans aren't like piddly paddly things to pay off. We need to make some serious money.
And that's the best part about the situation is that these people are, friends, family friends.
Okay.
It's not strangers who are literally just sitting, waiting for this to be over. So I think this is where I'm saying that it's a good kind of risk that I took.
Yeah, and I guess we'll explain the situation. If they say, no, we need our money back, then we'll figure out a way.
Yeah.
Then we will start selling stuff.
That's what I mean, though. Like, that's what I do rather than, like, try and make the film now. That's what I meant by I care more about the film than I care about the money. So there's no scenario where I would try to make a worse film than I know I could make or that I would want to make.
Yeah.
Just so that I could get some money so that I could pay off the loans.
Right.
Then I would rather
do something completely different.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. And I think, that's fair. I think anybody would do that, but yeah, I don't know if I like the idea on a documentary on rock climbing and mountaineering, but that's another very long-term film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But see, the thing I see is like we're doing it anyways. Like we're doing the climbing, we're doing the mountaineering.
Yeah.
Like why not,
100% we're going to film it.
Right, but with the intention of it being a piece.
Yeah.
Not like let's film when we can. Being like what's interesting about this story and filming it that way.
Right.
Even if it is, like after the fact, then filming.
But I still think we do have. Are you saying like separate from YouTube essentially, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Something that would be more in the long lines of a film that would then add to like the strength of having a proposal for a feature-length film.
Yeah.
We've already done, this process a little bit.
Yeah, I think and I think we can use what we have on YouTube to kind of show the start.
Mm-hmm.
Could almost be like documentary start with like home videos.
Yeah.
It's like our form of home videos, which the YouTube videos very much feel like to me at times.
But I mean, again, like you said, if I finish the script and the proposal, then I could get money.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what I should focus on and not, focus on another thing.
Yeah, I think the other thing, unless you have some sort of get rich quick, not scam, but like idea, I would just keep focusing on the film because there's that rock climbing and mountaineering film is just as much of a commitment as your film. I mean, maybe not quite as expensive, but it's gonna be fucking expensive.
It definitely wouldn't be as expensive at all.
No,
we
but
could do it what do you mean expensive? We could do it just by ourselves.
I guess, but it would still take years.
Well, to get to the point, but
yeah,
not that much in terms of just
I guess financially
along
not
the way.
Crazy amount,
And I wasn't talking about the loans then. I was talking about what's the best strategy to get the final film made.
I see. Okay, well,
something to think about.
Yeah. Keep you guys updated.
Well, it started with me like yesterday. I did my first training and I filmed a little bit, and then I went home and I watched a couple of Ironman training videos, like how to, or like this athlete and this is what his week looks like. And I was like, holy shit, there's so much. And I was like, how's that going to become one YouTube video? That's where I was like, well, maybe it could become like a series of YouTube videos. You know, like once I've run it, it's like 3 episodes that are all about that. I was like, why not just make a documentary about it? That's its own thing.
Right.
Because I did, the other day, I had all like these ideas for YouTube challenges and like things we could do for YouTube, which are like very much their own thing that aren't related to anything else we're doing.
Yeah.
But having just done this week's YouTube video where we made a video about what we are doing with the business, like that just makes so much more sense because we don't have any more time.
That's what I was trying to get at.
Yeah.
A while ago, yeah.
And I'm realizing that. So I'm like, well, the challenges that I want to then spend my time on are rock climbing and running.
Right.
Or Ironmaning. That's it. Like, I don't really have time to do anything else than that.
Yeah.
It's like it's going to be work, which is then also YouTube if we're doing stuff about what we're doing.
Yeah.
Still being creative. Friends and family and training. It's like there's already not really room for that.
Yeah.
Some of that stuff has to kind of take a second seat.
Well, I think next
or a
week
back seat.
It's in the calendar to talk. I have it marked. It's funny that you actually brought it up because it's in the calendar for next week to talk about feature films and how all this is going to work in.
Yeah. I mean, I'm constantly thinking about it.
Yeah.
Constantly. Like, how the fuck are we going to do
Well, the only thing
anything but what we're doing?
That's why I brought up the moving. It kind of, I've found an extra 2 hours of my day all of a sudden.
What do you mean?
I don't have to commute for an hour either way just to get to your place.
Uh-huh.
So I think
right.
I'm finding a little bit of time. That's why I brought up the whole moving thing. I think, again, I think next week we can really discuss, and maybe this is getting old for people, but I think it just takes a while to figure out is kind of how do you do all these things, or do you say at some point this is too much?
Yeah.
So I think there is an argument to be made that if you're doing too much, you're not really doing any one thing properly, and then it starts to suffer in quality, and then
everything falls apart.
Yeah, or it's just everything kind of feels half-assed, or
But that's why I like the adjustments we are making, and we are making adjustments.
No,
it's
I think we are.
Suddenly we're making a different kind of YouTube video once a week because it's easier.
Yes.
In terms of time.
Yes.
Commitment.
Yes.
It's still super creative.
Yes.
And is doing a lot. But then on adding to that, making the challenge about something you're already doing. Like moving.
Yeah, dude.
So that's what the video is about. And last week it was about making an intro for that.
Well, that's what I think. As long as
we can use it for something.
We shouldn't be doing things that kind of don't serve another purpose as well.
Well, that's why it's like it might be very interesting to sit here and talk about something totally unrelated to what we're doing on this podcast. But we're using the podcast to talk about our business because that's what we are doing.
100%.
And the blog posts are to do with habits that we kind of think will make us feel better.
Yeah.
Mentally and physically.
Yeah.
We're making adjustments as we go, which is good.
Yeah. And we'll discuss some more on next week's episode
of Burning Boat Business.